ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the first panel of the Kids Corner. Tell everybody at home what your name is.
My name is Dylan.
My name is Reagan. My name is Amber.
And ladies and gentlemen, these folks have been reading. That's the main story today, am I right? Tell everybody what book you have and why did you choose it?
I have Junie B. Jones and the Mushy Gushy Valentine, and the reason I chose this book is because Barbara Park is one of my favorite authors, and it's also on my reading level.
Now, having a favorite author at age 9, you've been reading a very long time. So why is Miss Barbara your favorite author so far?
Because she makes books fun, and I also like the way she illustrates the pictures in the books.
That's a big part of it. I refuse to read a book without at least one photo, one picture in there, am I right? What is this particular book about?
It is about Valentine's Day, and Junie B. Jones gets a card from someone, but she doesn't know who her admirer is, and she tries to find out who it is.
So, does that make you want to be an author? You want to be a writer when you grow up?
Yes, I think about it a lot.
Perfect. Now let's move on to another reader over here. Miss Reagan, tell us what you've got in your hands right now and why you chose it.
Junie B. Jones, first grade. Hello, haha. I choose this book because Junie B. Jones is my favorite character in this book, and he is very silly.
Now you also chose a book by Miss Park and also another Junie. Is it Junie B. Jones? Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Now this one's a little bit different. It's not a secret admirer. She looks like she's going to the beach. What is it about? What is the book about?
Like, the book is about she goes to the beach, and then she can't think of it.
Does she have fun at the beach? Is that one thing that happens?
Yeah, she has fun at the beach and do silly stuff.
Let's go over to Dylan. Dylan, tell us what book you chose and why.
Every monster needs a haircut
And why did you choose that book?
because it has a monster on it.
Now, monsters are really cool, and you're here with two ladies who could probably care less about monsters. But tell us why guys love to read about monsters.
Because they're scary?
Exactly. Now, what's the next book on your list?
No.
Let me guess. It has something to do with monsters, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to get your kids into reading very early. We've got some very intelligent young men and women sitting right here with us today that'll let you know exactly why it's important to read. These guys are so enraptured in this, and you can't wait to get to your next book, can you?
No, sir.
Exactly. She's going to be writing these after a while. We got the first in-depth interview before she writes. If you were going to write a book, what would it be called?
I would probably do something related to a book like this.
And what would the title character's name be?
Lucy.
Lucy. I like that. I think there needs to be a book about a guy who works with children and films television shows for the local community. Don't you think so, Reagan?
Yes.
And wouldn't you read that book like every day?
Yes.
That would be my favorite book. Now, Dylan, if there was a book, a series called Crazy Mark and the Children, would that not be the best book series ever?
It would.
He'd read it, especially if it had monsters in it, right? You guys keep watching. We're going to continue to check up with the kids here on the Kids Corner. I am here with another 3 very important guests on my esteemed panel. I'm going to go around and let each one of you introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll begin.
Hi, I'm Pam. Welcome to the Kids Corner.
That's a good introduction. I like that. And who are you, sir?
I'm Tyler. Welcome to the Kids Corner.
And ma'am?
I'm Taylor, and welcome to the Kids Corner.
Now, you two look a little alike. You two look a little similar. Are you two related?
Yes, she's my sister.
Your sister? How does it feel to have a brother?
Good.
Do y'all get along? Not at all?
No,
Do y'all fight all the time?
maybe.
Should I have put you in that chair and her in this chair?
Mm.
She's looking at you right now like the minute that we cut off that camera is going to be on in the library. That's not going to happen, is it?
Sure.
Now, Taylor, let's start off with you. What book do you have and why did you choose it?
teeth for Ruby, and the reason I like this book is because I get it from my school library, and her parents tells her do not lean in the chair with food in her mouth.
Now, do you also get into some hijinks and some trouble like she does?
Yes, sir.
And tell me, what's the funniest thing you've ever gotten in trouble for?
I don't know.
She doesn't want to tell. She knows. What's the funniest thing she ever got in trouble for?
I lost 2 of my top tooth. I put them in a paper and I put it under my pillow. When she got mad, she took them and put it under her pillow.
Did you fool the tooth fairy that way? Did you get money for his teeth?
No, sir. He found it.
I think the tooth fairy knows better. Am I right? Now, Tyler, tell us what book you have and why you chose it.
This book is NASCAR Safety on the Track, Racing to the Finish, Teamwork at 2 MPH. I like this book because it's all about car, and it's by K.C. Kelly.
Now, when you're at home with your sister, do you try to outrun her? Do you try to race her?
Yes.
And
lose.
she always loses?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that kind of braggadocious nature is why she took your teeth?
Maybe.
Maybe. I will leave you two alone. Don't fight while I'm over here, okay? Now tell us, what book did you decide and why did you decide it?
Miss Brooks loves book and I don't. I love this book because like in the middle part they get ready like for Halloween and stuff like that.
Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. It's coming up. Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir.
What are you going to dress as?
Michael Jackson.
You're going to dress as Michael. Can you do the moonwalk?
Yes,
Please,
sir.
please be my guest. Let's see it right now. I'll hold the book for you. Ladies and gentlemen, The Moonwalk by Miss
Tara Anderson.
There you go. I was going to go for Michael Jackson, but we're going to go with your real name. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. How do you think? How do you think? Don't tell me you could do better than that.
I don't.
Okay, he doesn't want to try. That was really, really good. Now, are you going to do that when you go trick-or-treating, or are you going to do the moonwalk every time? If it gets you more candy?
Sometimes I do the moonwalk and sometimes I sing.
Can you sing? Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear the voice.
Billie Jean, not my lover. She just a girl. That I am the one. But the kid is not my son.
That is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. That is awesome. All right, this is a talent show and a half here, so come on. The twins have to have some sort of twin power here. Can you sing? Is there any... What can you do? You can sing? You got a song for us? You don't want to sing for us? The camera is waiting. You've got an audience waiting. Hollywood might be calling.
I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here at Clarendon County Library, we are in the back of a fire truck running through the library, and I am here with 3 lovely ladies. Tell everyone at home what your name is.
Dallas.
Sydney.
Deanna.
All right, Deanna, you seem a little shy right now. What book are you reading and why?
D.
My D Soundbox? Is that what it says there? Now, why are you reading that? Does that have anything to do with your name being Deanna?
You got my name in it.
It has your name in it? Let me see. Let's flip through these pages. Oh, look at the dolls there, too. Do you like dolls? How many dolls do you have?
10.
10. That's a lot of dolls. Now, you're looking all over the place today. There's a lot of books in this library, am I right? You probably read every one of them, haven't you? At least twice. I thought so. She seems like the type that keeps reading. We're going to move over to Sydney. Sydney, tell everybody at home what you're reading and why.
It's called Froggy's Day with Dad.
Froggies, show everybody at home. That's a pretty cool cover to the book, too. Show the camera. And why are you reading this book?
Because Froggy spends time with his dad.
It's pretty fun, right? What do they do?
They go different places.
That's very fun. What's your favorite activity to do with your family?
Riding.
Riding? As in riding bicycles, riding horses, riding dolphins? Or writing a book?
Writing a book.
Very cool. What do you write?
Different kinds of books that I read before.
So you're going to be an author one day.
Mm-hmm.
And what will be the title of your book? When you finally sit down and you hammer it all out, what's going to be the name of that book?
My family book.
My Family Book. That's a great title. The bestseller. You heard it right here first. My Family Book. Dallas, what you got reading over there and why?
Word Bird.
You are not letting go of that book either. You are holding tightly to it. And you love that book? What's it about? Don't eat it. Can we naturally assume that there's a bird on the cover? Who are you making eye contact with over there? Is that mommy? And is she giving you a hard time? Does she do that on a regular basis? Did she tell you to pick out that book? Have you read it yet? Because I'm going to give you a test in a couple of seconds. On page 3, halfway down the script, what does it say? Mommy is trying to tell you what it is, too. And you look just like a little mini-me of Mommy. Can we pan over to Mommy and see what she looks like hiding over in the books there? This is what we call a stage mom, ladies and gentlemen. She is coaching her child through the whole process. Ladies and gentlemen, back here on the Kids Corner at the Clarendon County Library, 3 more esteemed guests on my panel today with 3 more incredible books. I have with me here Joshua.
Josatua.
Oh, we had him spell his name earlier. You didn't have to do that again. Bria and Ajay. Tell us, Joshua, what book you're reading and why. Because I think the folks at home are especially going to like the book that you're reading, especially those folks that are around this area.
Peggy Parrish, because she was from here, and when she died, her son started making Amelia Bedelia books for her.
You are like a historian on Peggy Parrish already. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
8.
You're 8 years old and you already know all about Miss Peggy Parrish. How is that?
Because at school, her son Herman Parrish came to our school and he told us about it.
That is really, really cool. And I believe, I'm not mistaken, they made some rounds here and you can actually see an Amelia Bedelia statue right in front of the library here. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, have you read any of the Amelia Bedelia books yet?
No.
No, but you might start eventually knowing that she's from here, right?
Well, apparently. I think they're too early for me. But
You know what? I thought the same thing. That's why I never read them either. The name like Amelia Bedelia. But they're not, though. They're actually pretty funny. If you ever get a chance to read them, check them out, right?
yes.
And you can find them right here at the library. Now, what is... exactly. We got them right over there. Good eye. Good eye. Now, what's your favorite part about Miss Peggy Parrish?
That she was from here. She wasn't from far away. It's one of the authors that I know that was from close to us.
And not only just one of the authors, I think that's the really important part about her. She's one of the best children authors out there. One of the most recognizable names. And she was from right here.
Yes.
Does that inspire you to do some really great things when you get older?
Yes.
Like what? What are you going to grow up to be?
I'm thinking of being a doctor and an author.
I like both of those. That's a good... Now, what would you write about? As a doctor, would you write about the things that you do as a doctor, or would it be something completely different?
It'll be like I make fiction stuff about doctors, and then when I get to my writing, I'll make fiction stuff about other people and stuff.
It's very cool. That's a very big task, and I think you've got it. If Miss Peggy Parrish can do it, I know you can. All right, let's go over here to Bria. Tell us... Oh, look what she is reading. Show everybody at home what you're reading there.
Happy Hunting Amelia Bedelia.
And why are you reading it?
Because Amelia Bedelia is funny and it's almost time for Halloween.
It is almost time for Halloween, and that brings up a great question. What are you going to dress as for Halloween?
A girl pirate.
A girl pirate. There's not enough of those, right? There needs to be more girl pirates.
Yes.
Have you ever been on a gigantic boat?
No.
See, I think that's what you need to do. Just go ahead and take one over and go plunder some islands, right?
Yeah.
Now, what kind of trouble did Amelia Bedelia get into in this book? Because she's always getting into some kind of trouble, right?
Well, this book, she was coming and she thought somebody ruined Miss Rogers and Mr. Rogers' house. So she ran and then she went to say, "Look, Miss Rogers and Mr. Rogers, someone messed up your house." And then they said, "We was getting ready for Halloween." And she did not know and she forgot.
Ajay, what you got over there? What are you reading and why?
I'm reading Hideout because it's funny.
That's a good enough reason at the end of the day. Now, it's got a dog on the front of it. Is the dog the central character?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, do you typically like comedy books? Are those more your favorites?
I like both of them.
You like all kinds of books. What are some of your other favorite types of books? You like the comedy here, but do you also like some scary stuff, some Halloween stuff? Awesome. Have you ever told ghost stories sitting around like a campfire or something?
No.
You want to try that now? You guys want to try to make up our own story right here for the camera? All right, I'll start us off. And the way this works, it'll be real easy. I'll lead you the whole way. I'll start off the story, and then when I pass it to you, you continue the story, okay? All right, you good with that? All right. One day, there was this ghost that lived in Manning, and
He was walking and he saw two little girls going to a house for candy.
when those girls got to that house for candy, they
ringed on the doorbell, and the ghost was in the house. The ghost appeared in the house, and it opened the door, and then
They ran by. They tried to run by the back door. Then the ghost ran around the house to the back door, and then when they opened the door, they ran right through him.
They ran right through him, turned on the TV, and their favorite TV station was on, which was
Amelia Bedelia.
Amelia Bedelia TV station. And that was written by
Peggy Parrish and Herman Parrish.
And that concludes the end of our
Story.
Awesome. You guys did a great job. Thank y'all so much. Once again, back here at the Clarendon County Library for the Kids Corner, I am here with another 3 esteemed guests on my panel. And today we have with us
Jaden Banks,
Dory Sweat,
Mac McCabe.
And you 3 have some outstanding books already ready. I'm familiar with most of these. Let's start over with you, Jaden. What are you reading and why are you reading it?
Time Machine by H.G. Wells. I love it. It's science fiction.
It's one of my favorite books. It really is one of the first books I read to get into science fiction. What's your favorite part about it?
Whenever he invents a time machine.
It's really cool to see his vision of what the future is going to look like. If you could imagine the future in your own perspective, what would it be?
I'd say it would be like it was in the book.
So you're going straight by Wells' vision of the future.
Yes.
I like that. I think he was pretty much dead on. Now, have you read the entire thing so far?
Yes, sir.
How many times have you read it?
This is my second time.
It's a good book. You read it twice. That's something that doesn't happen a lot. Most of the time when we read a book, we're just happy to get it over with. But when you go back through it a second time, it means you're finding stuff that you didn't see before. What do you think about the time machine really grabs your attention and your imagination?
Just building it, how would anyone invent it?
I think we can do that, though. I think if there's enough time and enough energy, we can build a time machine.
I think so too.
Now, if you could go to any year in time, previously or to the future, what year would it be and why?
It would be 2020. Because that might be the golden year in science, whenever all diseases are cured and there's no more war.
That's picture perfect. I think we can all agree that would be excellent. Now, would you be the helping hand in that? Would you go to the future and really help bring that into the case?
Yes.
What is your goal? What do you hope to be when you grow up?
I hope to be a scientist.
So this is the perfect fill for you, isn't it? We are looking at the future, ladies and gentlemen. He just might be the reason why cancer is cured or there is no more war. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Now, Dory, we're moving on to you. You also have a book that I'm very familiar with. Tell everybody what you're reading and why.
I'm reading The Hunger Games by Susan Collins, and this book, I love it so much because it just always is keeping me on edge.
Now, have you read the whole trilogy so far?
Yes, sir.
And do you like the movies?
Yes, sir.
I gotta be honest with you, I love the book so much more than the movies. I think there's a lot more detail into it. Tell everybody at home why you think they would really love The Hunger Games.
I think that everyone would love The Hunger Games because, like I said earlier, it's keeping you on edge. It's so detailed, and it's just so much fun to read.
Now, her vision, Colin's vision for the future is very different than Mr. Wells. In some perspectives, it is. What do you think about her vision of the future that's really compelling?
I think it's different because there's different things of how they choose kids differently and how they would use them in different ways, and there's also different ways of how the America has gone and is very different, and wow.
I agree. Wow is the best way you can describe it. Especially, I think once you get into the second book of the trilogy too, you're really getting into some high octane action, which is unlike anything. Once you let your imagination run wild with these books, you get pretty crazy. I gotta be honest with you though, if I was ever trapped in the Hunger Games, I would lose very quickly. I'm not that athletic. Somebody would have me out of, I'd probably be exhausted by the time the elevators went up or whatever, So, how do you think you would stand if you were really trapped in the Hunger Games? Do you think you'd come off like Katniss?
I really would think that I might, because I do like archery, and I do like going through the woods, and I really want to start learning how to hunt, and I think it would be keeping me on edge, and it would really keep me running and thinking of strategies.
That's awesome, and that's my follow-up question. What do you hope to be as you get a little older and grow up? What is your goal?
I'd like to be an author or an editor to help create books like this one, because it's really fun books to read, and I'd really like to keep kids my age, whenever I get older, reading books like this, because it helps them read better and it helps them get better views of what might turn out later on.
And you never know what this imagination can provide the future. You might just get a great scientist or another great author. Now we're moving on to you, Mac. Tell us, I'm not familiar with the book that you have, but tell us what you have and why do you read it?
I have Geronimo Stilton, The Race Across America. I like these books. I've read about 10 or 15, and they're about a man he's like in a mouse world. He's a mouse, and in this book he races across America to see who will win, see if he can get in the top 10. He's just trying to reach his goal and win.
Now that's awesome, and it looks like on the cover that's the Painted Desert of Arizona. Would that be about what you would think it would be?
It's a lot of places around the United States, like a lot of different places.
So he covers the entire America in one race. Now, are you an avid bicyclist? Do you like to travel that way?
I don't.
So this has not inspired you to get on a bicycle anytime soon?
No, sir.
Now, you said there's a whole series of those. What are some of your other favorites from this particular author?
Rumble in the Jungle. There's a lot more I can't remember. But
You've read so many of them. It's complete. Now, what do you hope to be in the future? We've already got an author and a scientist. What do you have in mind?
a zoologist.
Hence the reason why you've got a mouse over there, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is it about a zoologist that makes you really want to obtain that?
I like to study animals and learn more about them.
And from that, we can actually find out a little bit about ourselves, am I right? Animals have a lot in common with us, don't they?
They do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great case for what happens as the future of our children evolve. They become very intelligent, sociable human beings that will take over our world one day. Luckily, hopefully, these sort of futures don't exist if you do that, am I right? And with that being said, there's a great reason and a great argument to have your children come down to the library and check out some of these books. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do.
If you could tell some of the kids at home why they need to read, what would it be?
So they could get intelligent
it just blows their imagination.
Learn more new things.
Exactly. You heard it from them, not me. You guys stay tuned. This is the Kids Corner. She's got it down pat, doesn't she? What are you going to dress up as?
A snake pirate.
What kind of pirate?
Snake pirate.
A snake pirate? It'll be fun. Don't be a lot nervous. I'm always really nervous too, though. Doesn't matter how many times that camera's on, I'm always nervous. Okay. You want to try something now. You can't let these ladies outdo you. Come on, the gentlemen here, we haven't done anything yet, and I don't want to show them my skills just yet, so... Oh, great job, great. What do you call that, a pirouette? What is that? I don't know ballerina terms. I don't really know what a scalpel is either, to be honest.
You have pink shoes, a pink skirt.
What do they call the pink skirt?
It's pink.
That works for me. Ready, set, go. What? Oh, that is awesome. We're going to have the folks at home judge you all and put it on Facebook. I'm just kidding.